All right. Ron's asking, how do I handle Wicks to close trades? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Wicks have to do with closing a trade. Yeah, so Ron, if you want to explain what condition is that's happening with these wicks, for closing a trade. Yeah, so Ron's saying, so if he gets a candle with a long wick, all right, he wants to close his trade. Okay. So how many ticks, would a long wick be? All right, so essentially what we're going to build is a 10 tick wick detection system. Let's see. I'm guessing maybe that looks like that might be 10 ticks there. We'll find out. Um, well, there we go. That one definitely should be 10 ticks. All right. So we're going to use a comparison solver to identify these wicks. Let's see. Let's create a new logic template here. All right. So let's grab a comparison solver. Connect that in. Right, so what is the wick comprised of? Right, well, if you're in an uptrend, right, you start at the open price, right, and then end with the low price of the bar, right? So you're comparing the open price to the low price of that bar, and you're checking to see is that open price 10 ticks or more, uh, greater than the low price. So input A, let's stretch this out a little bit. There we go. So input A is going to be price, and input B is also going to be price. So input A, that will be the open of the bar. So we're going to set both of these to the open. All right. And let's see. So if you're in an uptrend, it'll be, all right. So if we got to evaluate, what trade direction might you be in? So if you're on renko charts, right, hopefully you're trading long when the renko bars are going up, right? So if you're trading long, then we want to see a short signal here to exit this long trade, right? So we want to see a short output when we get this long wick here. So for a short output, we're going to be looking at the low price. And then vice versa, yeah, so if you're taking a short trade here, and we're looking at this long wick to close out that trade, then we'd be using the high, comparing the high price to the open. And so, the point is, if we're in a short trade, then we want to generate a long output here as an exit signal, right? A long output to exit short trades, right? A short output to exit long trades. So, all right, so we want to, so for the long output, we're going to be looking at the high price. And so now, let's shrink this up a little bit. There. So now it's a matter of getting our comparison rules set up correctly. Let's see. All right, so we want a short output there. So for the short, the open is going to be above or greater than. So let's use the greater than or equals to the low. So we're actually going to take the low price and add 10 ticks, right? We're going to take the low, add 10 ticks to get to the open price. You're going to switch that over to ticks and hit apply. And there we have it. All right. So there are, yeah, some bars there with those long wicks. And so for the long output, right, so if you're in a short trade, we want a long output here. So we're just going to set this up in the opposite manner. So less than or equals to, right? It's the opposite condition of greater than. We're going to take the high minus 10 ticks now. There. Hit apply. And there we have it. Yep, there we have it. Now, one thing to pay attention here to is you notice, right, with a lot of renko bars, the reversal bars typically generate long wicks on most renko bars here. And as we can see, yeah, with the backtest renko, all of these reversal bars generate a long wick, right? So what happens if a short entry signal comes in on that reversal bar, right? Well, because there's an exit signal here on, the bar that has an entry signal, this exit signal nullifies the entry signal. So you got to make sure that you don't have any exit signals on the same bar as your entry signal, right? If you do, the entry signal is ignored because you're giving Blackbird a conflict. You're telling Blackbird, hey, enter the trade on this bar, but then you're also telling Blackbird, well, exit the trade on that same bar that you're entering the trade. So from that standpoint, Blackbird will do nothing. So it'll just ignore that entry signal. So yeah, so in with our renko bars here in our unique situation, let's see, we should create a filter here. There. So remember, I already have this inflection solver built, right? Connect that in. Yeah. Let's see here. So I think if we invert this, let's see, invert it and swap it. There we go. Yeah. All right. So I took this inflection solver, I inverted it, and I swapped it. Right. And let's go back to our wick detection here. Right. So this is a long signal on this down bar. Right. So we have a long output. And now on this inflection solver, if you notice, it's missing the long output here, right? We're missing the long output. So if I connect these together with an AND node, there we go, right? This long exit signal now disappears. And there we go. I actually, all of these reversal bars, right? That reversal, no signal, that reversal, no signal, no signal, no signal, no signal. There we go. So basically we were able to use a inflection solver, right? Just modify its output here using the inverted and the swapped. And then we could use that to filter our wick detection here. Now, we know this works on renko charts. I'm not so sure that it's going to work on a minute chart. Yeah, it doesn't quite work on a minute chart because the open price is going to be, right, the the side of the body that the open price is on depends if it's an up bar or a down bar, right? So we can't reliably use the open price to check for up wicks, right, and down wicks, right? But then again, I don't know, maybe, I guess this logic here may not work, for minute or tick charts, but just to show how to build this logic out here, let's go ahead and build it anyways. All right, so this works for renko bars. Now let's see here. Let's copy this comparison solver. Actually, no. You know what? Let me back up. There. Actually, I think all we need to do is make a modification to our existing wick detection here. So instead of using the open price, let's use one of these custom prices. So for a long, we're using the body top, yeah. And so for a short, we use the body bottom. Yeah, all right, this looks to be working. Yeah, this bar here is actually a good test bar here. So this upper wick is 13 ticks, and obviously that lower wick is pretty darn long there. And so we get a long and a short output. So it would exit any trade because you had a 10 tick wick on the top, a 10 tick wick on the bottom. And of course we can see all these really short, bars here. The market just kind of really consolidated there. Yeah, right, no output. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's only 4 ticks. All right. Yeah. So there we go. This makes it more universal. There we go. Yeah. So instead of using the open, we could just use the body top and the body bottom. So that way on a non-renko chart, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And if I disconnect our reversal bar here, filter, yeah, so some of these reversal bars do now show up with that exit signal. Yeah, let's connect that back in. There we go. Now they clean them up. All right. So there we have it. So yeah, so it's just a comparison solver here, and we can use for the input A, we can use the body top and the body bottom, right? And then we're comparing them to the high price or the low price. And again, the big key to getting this to working, right, is making sure you put in your 10 ticks there and make sure that you're either subtracting or adding correctly. All right, I think that does it for that question there.